This is the summer concert series, our second round of the summer concert series. For the second of four. We had Danny Nichols a couple of weeks ago, and we are so blessed to have the incredibly talented and the even better person, Elana Arian, to join us all the way from the East Coast. Elana, welcome. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be with you all today.
Yep, and she's gonna sing for us, and we know a lot of her melodies, so you are gonna love what she's doing and what she brings to us. Couple of little housekeeping notes for everybody as we get started. First thing, this special summer concert series, this edition is brought to you by Nashim, the wonderful sisterhood of Shir. So thank you to Nashim for sponsoring this event. We couldn't have done it without you, and we are absolutely thrilled that you've helped us bring Elana into our community for the afternoon. The second thing is that if you have your cell phone or your computer handy, please click the share button and share this with the world so everybody can see and hear and experience Elana and hear her music, and we can all be together as one community, even if we're on the West Coast or the East Coast. It doesn't matter, anywhere in between, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the gifts of now, I have to say. We can all be together.
All right, Elana, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you. We're going to begin with some words of gratitude from our Psalms. How good it is and sweet to be together. Even when we can't stand together or sing together, we are together. And I'll invite you to sing with me from home. Hine Matov. Hine Matov. ומנעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד. Sing shalom aleichem, shalom aleichem, salam aleikum, shalom aleichem, salam aleikum, shalom aleichem, salam aleikum, shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is, yeah, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Sing hine ma tov umanayim sheverachim גם יחד הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברחים גם יחד. Feels good to sing together. Get this started this way. I'm so thrilled to be a part of the summer concert series and a part of the Shireinu project. I've just been hearing so much about the incredible work that you've all been doing, and it's really so important now, really more than ever, to feel how connected we are in any way that we can. And I don't have to tell any of you how much music is a part of that and how good it feels to extend ourselves and music and to be able to sing together and to feel that connecting presence. So thank you to the Shireinu Project for just putting so much beautiful, good, connective musical energy out into the world right now. I wanted to sing with you a setting that I wrote with my friend Noah Aronson, a wonderful, very influential composer of Jewish music who's written a lot of melodies that you know. La 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 la, I bet you know this melody. Noah wrote that. Okay, he wrote a lot of incredible things that are really part of the canon of Jewish music. And Noah's a good friend of mine, and we, under normal non-pandemic times, we typically kind of joke that we tend to just see each other in airports because we travel for most of our lives. But when we're home, we both live in Brooklyn, New York, and we've had a chance to write some music together, which has been a wonderful gift. And so I wanted to share a setting that Noah and I wrote a few years ago. It's a setting for a text that we normally associate with the high holidays. Hashivenu Adonai, turn us and return us to ourselves. And I've been thinking about this text a lot during this time of sheltering in place and quarantine, and sort of the way that we're all being forced to reorient the way that we spend our time, the way that we spend our days, the way that we sort of allocate our resources, the way that we think about the problems that are facing our world today. And despite all the enormous challenge, and I feel incredibly fortunate to not be, an emergency worker who's needed to be out in the front lines, and I've had the privilege to be able to stay home. There's a piece of me that feels like this has been a time to really return to what's important to us. And I have a deep desire and wish that when we all come out of this time, we'll have more clarity about what's important to us, and that we could bring that as a blessing and sort of a source of meaning of this time. So I'd love to share this setting. It's called We Return, in the spirit of returning to what is the most essential and foundational about each of us, about our families, and about our communities. This is a call and response, so I'll tell you where your part is. We return. You go. We return. We return. We return. Yeah. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return. We return. We return. Return again and again to love, love. We return again to love. We return again to love. Here we go. We return. We return. We return. We return. We return. Return again. We return. We return. We return, return again and again to truth, to truth, truth. We return again to truth. We return again to truth. Shireinu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Yameinu Keketz I could feel y'all singing on that one. You feel that empty space? It's like, there they are. When we started all this weirdness of being home months and months and months and months ago, feels like years and years and years ago. I remember I played my first concert. It's different to lead worship this way. I mean, of course, it's nothing compared to being in person. But when you have some partners with you leading, you sort of can feel the feeling of community. But doing a concert this way can be strange, because it's just kind of. At the beginning, I was like, I'm sitting in my dining room. I'm playing into my computer. I can't see anybody. Like, what is happening here? This is so odd. And I started my concert with Hine Matov, just like I did just now. And I felt like I had to change the words, like, how good it is, how sweet it is. And I said, like, to feel together on this, instead of to be together, because it just felt ridiculous to pretend like we were together. But I have to tell you, after months of doing this, it's undeniable that we're together. I feel that. And it's a big change for me internally over the last few months. And I hope that through programs like this and just other, communal experiences with congregations like Shir and others that are really investing in making sure that we stay connected, that you can feel that as well. But I'm really grateful for that. So thank you. I want to share a setting of some text from the prophet Isaiah. The text is Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. And it's translated as comfort you, my people. And it's typically we think of God being the one speaking there. Comfort you, my people. In the sort of rabbinic pyrotechnics that we see sometimes of how you can move a comma or change the punctuation of something and it changes the meaning, there's some discussion about who is doing the comforting in this text. And as we're in our current reality, I'm so aware of how much power we have to extend comfort to one another with small, tiny gestures, just getting a text sometimes from someone who I haven't heard from in a little while, or just picking up the phone and calling somebody, without making a date to do so, can be an enormous sense of comfort now. And I'm just reminded of our sacred responsibility and how much a part of our tradition that is, to be comforted and also to be comforters of one another. This is Nachamu. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle to take care of one another. comfort us in our wilderness. Comfort us as we struggle with this world. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami Yomar Elohechem. I want to share a piece that is okay. Let me start again. I have a new record that I'm supposed to be making right now. I was supposed to start making it in March, in the middle of March, it's one of those things that you just reschedule. It's not a big deal. There's been enormous cataclysmic loss across the world and in our country and in our communities, and so it's really not that big a deal. But this song that I want to share with you is the title of the record is called "The Other Side of Fear," and this song is the song from which that title comes. It's a setting of a famous saying by Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav, "Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tsar me'od." The whole world is a very narrow bridge. V'haikar lo lefached klal. And the most important thing is not to be afraid at all. And I've struggled with this text quite a bit, even before this current moment where it feels like there's just infinite things to be afraid of. It can be really scary out there. I have 2 young kids, and I live in New York City, and I travel all the time, and there's a lot to worry about. And I do. I worry about, the next generation and how they'll fix the messes that we've made. And I worry about the planet, and I worry about our democracy, and I worry about the Middle East, and blah, blah, blah. I could go on and on. The point is, there's plenty to worry about. And I was always taught that this text said, the whole world is a very narrow bridge. It's very scary out there, essentially. The most important thing is just don't be scared. And that never really worked for me. So I kind of have always worked wrestling with this text, trying to find a lens that made sense to me. In the course of playing this music in lots of communities and getting to talk about it with lots of wonderful cantorial and rabbinic colleagues, it's been pointed out to me many times that the original teaching is actually not lo lefached klal. The most important thing is not to be afraid. It's actually lo lehitpached klal. Don't make yourself afraid, right? Rabbi Brian, you can't see him, but he's shaking his head. So that I can totally get on board with. And I think now in this time, I'm so aware of how powerful our own brains are in terms of how much we allow ourselves to become afraid, to make ourselves afraid, to get into a zone of panic and scarcity and what if, and that, there's some real deep wisdom in Reb Nachman's charge to not, the most important thing is to not freak yourself out, is basically what he's saying. I would just add a little asterisk to it in this piece, which is the whole world is a very narrow bridge. Be afraid. just don't stop there, right? We know that if we stop with the fear, that's the end, and we don't want to do that. So the most important things are on the other side of that fear, and we have to kind of push ourselves to get through there. And I tell myself this message quite a bit these days. This is Gesher Tsar Me'od. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side of fear. Kol ha'olam kulo, kol ha'olam כולו גשר צר מאוד כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד והעיקר לא לפחד כלל והעיקר לא לפחד כלל כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד והעיקר לא לפחד כלל והעיקר לא לפחד כלל The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side. The most important thing is on the other side of fear. כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד Thank you. It's lovely. I'm singing to you from a different place than I normally have been performing and leading worship, and I have a room, and it's the dining room, and we live in an apartment in Brooklyn. You can imagine it's not that big. So, and my wife is a cantor, so she also leads services and does other programs from our house too. And we don't really have more than one place that we can do it. So normally we're in the dining room with the doors closed. It's a lovely, there's plants behind us and stuff. It's a lovely wall, but at a certain point you're spending a lot of time in the dining room with the doors closed. And right now I'm playing to you in our cabin in the mountains, and I'm just looking out the window as I play to you, and it's just so beautiful and reorienting to be in this space, singing this music to all of you, and sort of imagining where all of you might be as you're listening. And I just feel very connected to why we're doing this right now. And I want to thank all of you who are staying home and wearing a mask and doing what we can to bring the end of this time as soon as you can. I'd love to share a prayer for peace and wholeness in keeping with that theme. I always like to say there's something so Jewish about sort of these words, Oseh Shalom, may the one who makes peace above bring peace below. This idea that traditionally we say this text many, many times a day, and there's something so kind of like nudgy in a good way, Jewish, like oh, it's no peace yet. Well, let's say Oseh Shalom again, and we'll do it 3, 4, 5 times a day, and eventually, maybe if we sing it loud enough times with enough people, we'll get where we need to go. Peace and wholeness for every person, every color, every religion, every political party, every creature. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hui יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום עלינו, עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום עלינו, ועל כל, ועל כל, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל, ועל כל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ויאמרו אמן, ויאמרו אמן, ויאמרו amen. We ask for peace on earth, and we say amen. Amen, ויאמרו amen, ויאמרו amen, ויאמרו amen. We raise our voice as one, and we say amen. Amen. I want to share this song. It's been a really cool and unusual experience with this song to sort of see it take off and have a life of its own, separate from me. And it's kind of like a dream thing as a songwriter, and it's been really fun and gratifying to see. Get lots and lots of videos texted and emailed to me of people of all ages singing this song all over the place, all over the world now. I got one from Australia a couple days ago and England a couple weeks before that. This is a song that I wrote inspired by the dedication and leadership and activism of a group of teenagers at the UR Jacobs camp in its last year. People say teenagers and you think like, teenagers. But I just was blown away by this particular group of teens. So activated, so focused, so knowledgeable, so committed. And I got to spend some time with them at Kutz in their last summer there, and I was just really inspired. I wrote this song for them. And as time has gone on, it's become really clear this is not a song just for teenagers. This is a song for everybody. A reminder that each of us has a voice, that each of us can do really important things with our voices, that our voices can change the world, that our voices are powerful, that our voices are needed, our voices are holy. And it's just been one of the great joys of my life so far to get to watch, people young and old singing this song in protests all around the country and lobbying Congress and singing to nursery school kids and all places in between. This song is I Have a Voice, a reminder that we have an opportunity to raise our voices coming up in just a few months. It's everyone's sacred responsibility to make sure that you lift your voice and vote. I will even say, no matter who you vote for, just make sure you vote. I will open my eyes. I will not look away. I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Okay, you come after me. Here we go. I will give of myself. I will give of myself. Yeah. I will reach out my hand. I will reach out my hand. I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. A blessing from our morning blessings, Nisi B'chol Yom, thanking God for making us in the divine image, a reminder of how incredibly important this divine part of us is, this ability to raise our voices for what's right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth. I will fight for the... Yeah. I'll stand up for what's right. I'll stand up for what's right. I will use this strength I've been given and be alive. Here we go. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Oh yeah. Awesome. I felt you guys on that one too. Thank you so much. I want to take a moment to thank Nashim for sponsoring this event. I will be coming back to do some Shabbating together in August, and I'm just thrilled to get to spend some more time together with Congregation Shir Ma'alot, and hopefully one day in person. That was what was meant to be happening, but this will be a good starter for us to feel connected. So thank you to Nashim for making this happen. I wanted to thank Rabbi Brian for being such an enormous supporter and putting so much good effort into the Shireinu project and getting so many Jewish artists and new Jewish music and just good vibes out there in the world through music, and for bringing me in. Thank you to Josh helping with the video, and to all of you out there watching. It's been really, really fun for me. So I'm going to sing one more song, and then I think we'll do a little chatting, Um, this is a Hashkivenu prayer, a prayer that we traditionally say before going to bed. Now, I realize for y'all, it's going to be a little while till you go to bed. Here, where I am in the woods, it's been raining, so it's kind of getting dark. The crux of this prayer is not really about going to sleep, but it's about being covered in a shelter of peace, Sukkot Shalom, a sukkah of peace. You can picture that fragile sukkah, where you can see the sky and the wind kind of blows the whole house around, and we're supposed to kind of be reminded of how fragile that shelter is every day when we go to sleep, and be grateful when we wake up that we made it through the night. And I just want to express gratitude myself for being protected in this time, and to extend a shelter of peace to all of you and to all those that you love to make it through the next bit of this difficult time. This is Hashkivenu. Shelter us. Thank you again. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu v'shomreinu l'chaim l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu v'shomreinu l'chaim l'chaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha V'tzaknenu be'etza tova milfanecha V'hoshienu leman shemecha Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu v'shomreinu l'chaim l'chaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha V'tzaknenu be'etza tova milfanecha V'hoshienu leman shemecha Amen.
Wow, Elana. I'm overwhelmed on many levels. First, just on that last piece, Hashkivenu, anyone who adds the majority of the Hebrew text of Hashkivenu and doesn't just stop at L'chaim captures my heart. So
I'm so glad.
So that was just absolutely beautiful. But Elana, the messages that you have shared with us, the power, the meaning, you see it in your face as you're singing. The messages have reached our communities that have spread out. I mean, so many people on Facebook right now. We've had consistently very high numbers today, all spread out listening to you and what you've brought. And I'm just so grateful for your wisdom and your care. I feel like you genuinely care about the well-being of our world. And your music that stands out. And the thing that I also appreciate so beautifully is that you capture the essence of prayer and the song in the melody. And
Thank you so much. That's a high honor as a songwriter.
yes, I mean, wholeheartedly. I know I struggle with that at times, but
Yeah,
and I think we all do.
of course. Yeah, it's a challenge.
But you have just nailed it. And your selection today is, I mean, only a little bit of what Elana has to offer, and I hope you'll all check out her music. And as she did mention, we are going to be having her back for a One Voice Shabbat on August 28th, and we are so excited for that. It will be streamed, so we will be doing it that way. But we were supposed to have Elana out here this summer for a whole weekend, and just unfortunately due to the circumstances, we had to be safe and make the right decision.
Very important, yes.
However, we're going to do everything in our power to have Elana come to our community because you've all fallen in love with her as it is right now. So Elana, I thought as we've been doing with our both our Sunday song sessions and our summer concert series is we've been allowing our members in our community to kind of get to know you a little bit, the person behind the song, the person behind the songwriting, and what has inspired you. So my first question to you is actually stems from that whole idea of capturing the idea of the liturgy in your melody. And one of the songs that I know and that truly does that is your Mi Chamocha. And can you possibly tell us maybe the story behind the writing of your setting of Mi Chamocha, and then maybe play a little bit so we can kind of gain that perspective?
Sure. I'm gonna play for you a little bit first so you can have it in your ear while I'm talking. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la, and it goes on like that for a long, long time. I think the origin of that setting is actually, and this does happen to me sometimes, I play a bunch of other string instruments, and I had been gifted an octave mandolin, which is, I play the regular mandolin, and an octave mandolin is just as you'd expect. It's a mandolin that is an octave below the regular sound of a mandolin, so it's very kind of bassy and twangy, and it sounds kind of, to me, it sounded very kind of like Middle Eastern, West African, North African, kind of, it felt like the desert to me. And I had just been given, it's bigger, yeah. It's almost as big as a guitar. I mean, the body's not quite as big, but the neck is bigger. The neck is as long as a guitar. And anytime you have a string instrument, to make it longer, to make it lower, you have to make it longer. So somebody had given me this instrument for $1 under with the instructions that I needed to write something beautiful on it. It was an incredible gift, incredible gesture from a music lover and a sort of collector of instruments who, sort of wanted to move it through to someone else. So I had taken this instrument home. I was just messing around with it and trying to figure out how it worked. And that chord progression kind of came out of that instrument. And it sounded so like in the desert to me, especially coming out of that instrument. And I like to try to follow what the instrument is telling me or what the chord progression is telling me, rather than try to put what I want it to be into what the instrument is. And so in that case, I think it was just kind of a lucky pairing of hearing that inflection and then sort of having a vision of I just picture like what would we look like what would our ragtag gang of slaves fleeing and running for their lives look like when they turn around and suddenly see that the sea has closed and they're beginning a whole new chapter. So yeah, that setting came from both from listening carefully to an instrument and also kind of the imagery that it brought to me of that moment in our story.
And what an image that is, right? I mean,
It's
wow.
pretty dramatic, yeah.
I think maybe I'm gonna go get a what do you call it, a baritone mandolin or
And it's called an octave mandolin. And actually, after I mean, I don't play it that much anymore. I mean, I don't get to play it very much when I travel because I have to bring a lot of different instruments. But at home, I play it. And I've done some research, and there's actually a whole family. Some of you watching know this already. There's a mandolin. Then there's a mandola. Like a mandolin is like a violin. And there's like a mandola, which is like a viola. It's lower. Then there's a mandocello, even lower than that. And then even lower than that is an octave mandolin, like a bass. So if you want to geek out on it, you can, is what I'm trying to say, which I do.
I think it's possible. You know, our emeritus cantor R.A. Schickler, he has all kinds of worldly instruments, and my guess is he probably has one.
Yeah, they're really fun. I mean, once you kind of know the basic shape, it's just fun to hear new sounds that you don't normally hear, So that's where that came from.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing that with
Of
us.
course.
I knew part of that story already,
Yeah.
which is why I knew to pose the question to you. I mean, you have so much love right now coming in on Facebook, and I highly encourage that you go back and look at the feed on SHM's page.
I will, definitely. Thank you so much.
There is a lot of love. And so another question that is coming in actually from the feed right now is, when did you know that singing was kind of, and music was your thing? And I also know the answer to this question.
Rabbi Brian knows everything.
I know
about
a
me.
lot about you. It's
He knows a lot about me. No, that's good.
please feel free
You
to.
don't want to bring a stranger, and just let them sing to whomever or whatever. That's a great question. So I think it's two different answers. Like music in general, really from a very, very young age. My parents are both musicians. My mom teaches at the cantorial school, the New York campus of Hebrew Union College. My parents were camp song leaders. My dad's a great song leader, a guitar player. He plays the drums. He plays like every brass instrument. My brother's a singer. He plays piano. He's an actor. So it's in my family. And we used to sing together, the four of us. Those of you who missed my treading water before when we were trying to fix the sound might have heard a snippet of my biography where I said that the four of us put out a cassette tape as a family. It's called Nifty and Harmony, and I bet you can find it on eBay. Anyway, the point is, music is definitely a huge part of my family. And when I was 7, I think, I asked to play the violin, which was my first sort of trained instrument. And that's actually what I thought I would be doing professionally. Like when I went to college even, I was that was the direction I was headed in. And I always loved to sing, but I actually didn't really get to sing in like the ways that you do in school, like with choir and musicals and stuff, because I was always doing like orchestra stuff. When I was in college, and I learned to play guitar kind of from my family and also from being like a staff brat at summer camps that my parents worked at, and the campers would teach me chords and stuff. So between my parents and being around like the cool teenage campers who taught me stuff, I kind of picked up folk guitar kind of on my way. And then in college, I connected with a wonderful group of singers and songwriters. And it kind of clicked to me for the first time ever that you could just like that you could write songs. Like it wasn't, I used to write like a prose and stories and stuff, and I obviously was really musical, but it never occurred to me to just do that. And I had a bunch of friends who were just doing that and writing. And so I kind of started that way just because it was a new idea. And then once I started doing that, it really quickly became clear that was kind of my life's path. I did like about 10 years, about 10 years of touring as a secular folk singer, right out of college, which was really, really fun, and got to be with, just learn from wonderful, songwriters and singers who came before me and open up for some great people. And then in the last like 8 or 9 years, I sort of moved towards, Jewish music, kind of from a sort of a personal calling that kind of happened in my own life. And it's just been so deeply rewarding, like, um, to kind of come back to this because this is where my family is from, and to feel so like embraced and so at home. So that's a really long answer, but music starts when I was 7, and being a singer, I still don't really think of myself as a singer, but like being a composer and a singer songwriter, probably since I was just in college, I'd say, which is just a few years now.
I think of what Frankie Valli once said is that,
Hmm.
experiences happen, but in the end, it all just comes back to the music. The story allows you to return, and it sounds like it did that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
Really, really powerful. The final question that I have for you, and then I'm going to humbly request that you give us
Oh, yeah.
one encore piece. We happen to love your Yehiyu Loretson.
Oh, a subtle hint. He gave me a subtle hint. I
I
caught
got
it.
a little
I
cough
got it. Good.
right
Very
there.
good.
The question that I have, so you had the opportunity and to work with one of our teenagers, Liana Friedman.
Oh, yes. I didn't realize Leanna was from your
Yeah,
congregation.
she is, and she's absolutely wonderful. And she wrote, and I remember her playing her song uh, for me, and it was very powerful. And I know you were able to help her and guide her. So thank you for doing that. I know she's very grateful
It
as
was
well
my
as
pleasure.
highly
Yeah.
of you. Um, what is what has been the most rewarding part for you about working and being so influential with teenagers now, who
Hmm.
are coming up in the ranks?
That's a great question. I mean, I spent many, many years as a teacher before I was working as a professional musician, and I think that in the deepest parts of me, that's really an important part of what I feel like I bring to my music. And so just to be able to work with teens, really with any kids, but particularly teens that are in that sort of liminal weirdness between being like full on adults and they're clearly not children. And like Liana, I met her at Kutz, with that crop of kids that I was talking about, they're like trying to save the planet and stop gun violence and 100 other things that I was not even thinking about for a second when I was a teenager. I can't think of one issue that I was really aware of at that age. And I think that part of what's really powerful about being in relationship with, and teaching teens and working with teens now is just that they bring so much to the table and they're so there as the clearly the future leaders of this planet are and this country and our Jewish community, and on and on and on. And so just to kind of, I feel like I learned so much from them, just seeing their passion and their commitment, and just to kind of reconnect with those ideals that, sadly sometimes can feel like those are things from when you're young and then you get into the real world. It's so powerful to just feel like, yeah, like I mean, that's part of the thing of that about I have a voice is like if I were just to say that to myself, I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world, like as a cynical adult, it's just like, what, like, I don't know. But
Absolutely.
saying that with teenagers who are like putting themselves on the line, and making real choices and like really standing for things, I think it's very inspiring. I think part of the reason that I'm drawn to that is just I get so much from them.
Yeah, and all of these teenagers, going to the rack in Washington,
Totally.
and I mean, Liana uh, put together a social justice kala at Shir for Nifty SoCal. I mean, it was so powerful. I was so proud of these future young leaders, and
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, they're influential, and they're much more in touch than I necessarily was growing up as well.
Yeah, it's cool to think like, wow, what are you, 16? Like that's amazing. So yeah, I was thrilled to get to work with them at Kutz and in other camps, and then to be able to work with Liana on that song. Yeah, it's a privilege to be able to have any part in that.
Absolutely. Well, Alana, thank you so much. I know you're going to give us one more song, but before we run off today, just a couple of things for everybody. Once again, this second of our summer concert series here at SHM is sponsored by Nashim, and thank you so much to Nashim for sponsoring this event and helping us bring Elana in. It has just been an incredible afternoon of music that, luckily, because it's recorded and all on Facebook and will be on YouTube, it's not going to go away. So we can experience it over and over again, and that is really wonderful. We will be with Elana again at the end of August 28th for One Voice Shabbat virtually, so that will be incredible. Elana will talk about that soon. And for our future SHM Summer Concert Series 3 and 4, Sunday, July 19th, 19th, 17th, whatever that weekend is, Adam Gubman is going to be joining us. He is a wonderful composer and producer, and he produced music from The Greatest Showman. And so he's going to be there sharing his talents with us in the behind-the-scenes development of the music from The Greatest Showman, which will be awesome. And then in August 7th, I believe, on Sunday as well, we will have Alan Goodis joining us to wrap up the summer concert series. So plenty of good things available. Our next Sunday SHM Sunday Song Session will actually be July 12th. We're going to take a week off for 4th of July weekend, and it will be with me and Eddie, music of the 90s. So come and join us, and we're going to rock on and have a good time doing our best Blink-182 impressions, which would be really good. But Elana, thank you again, and thank you again to Nashim and everybody else who has tuned in and shared your afternoon with us. Elana, please give us one more.
Thank you so much. This is actually the very first piece of Jewish music that I wrote, the setting of Yehi Ratzon. And like I said, I was kind of in a period of real seeking and real struggle, and I really didn't know how to take the next step. And this prayer just kind of came out, which is not typically really how it happens for me. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable, be okay. Yehi ratzon irefi vehigion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegoali Adonai tzuri vegoali. May the words of my mouth, and the meditations of my heart, be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my Redeemer. Yehi ratzon irefi vehigion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri vegoali Adonai tzuri vegoali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart, be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my Redeemer. והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. אדוני צורי וגואלי.
Elana, thank you so much. You have touched my heart. You have touched all of our hearts, and it is a true blessing to have you with us this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you all soon. Stay safe out there.
Absolutely. Elana, hang on before signing off. We're all going to sign off the live feed in just a moment. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday afternoon. And thank you for choosing to spend some of it with us at Shir Hamalot in Irvine. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.